Okay. In writing this week in language, first we're going to talk about verb tenses. So, excuse me. Verb. A verb is something that you do, okay? It's an action, all right? So, there are different verb tenses. There is a past, present, and future, all right? I'm going to start with present because it kind of is all based off of that. So when you think of present, you probably think of Christmas present or birthday present. Okay, this present that I'm talking about is something that's happening now. Okay, so the past is something that's already happened. The present is happening now. So presently, we are on a Google Meet. Okay, we are going through the coronavirus pandemic, okay? That's what's happening now. And then the future is something that's going to happen that has not happened yet, right? So past, an ongoing action occurred in the past. So you can have something that happened in the past, so that's a past tense verb. Some common ones are was and were are common past verb tenses. So the first sentence, I was talking to Benjamin. So that happened in the past. Was talking is the verb, is the past tense verb, was talking. Okay. If I was going to use the present tense verb in that sentence, I wouldn't say I was talking because that's already happened. I would say I am talking to Benjamin. Okay, so am talking is the present. And if I was going to tell somebody about talking to Benjamin in the future, I would say I will be talking to Benjamin. Okay, will be means I haven't yet, I'm not now, I will in the future. Okay, so was and were are common past tense verbs. Am is and are common present tense verbs. And will be is a common future tense verb. This presentation is on your Google Classroom writing. And this is the first slide. The next slide looks like this. So you can't use it in present mode. So it says to type 3 words in each box. So if I were to give a past tense verb, I'm going to say it could be random. And if you need help, you can go back to this chart. It's the first slide. So was and were. Let's see, I would say was if I was talking about one person. If I were to say were, it'd be more than one person. Okay, like we were, not we was. I was, not we was. Okay. All right, so past tense could be were running. Okay, we were running. Present would be I am running. Chloe, only ask questions for me, please, in the chat box. We're not going to type unless it's a question. And future would be I will be running. Okay. That's what you're going to do there. The next slide, you're going to drag and drop the words into the correct box. So past, present, future, eating. I am eating, I was eating, or I will be eating. Okay. Well, we're not quite sure. Let's move on to the next. Look, here's will eat. That means I haven't eaten yet. I will eat. Okay. I will sing. That's the future. And then these right here, happening now, going to happen, already happened, those are bolded. So that's where you're going to put, you're going to decide which one goes in which. It's kind of like the definition of them. So that is your not vocabulary, your language this week. Let me drag it back. Okay. Now, writing this week. In your template on Google Classroom that hopefully you have looked at, just a second to pull it up. So this week you're going to read one of my favorite books. I hate that I can't read it out loud to you. I wish y'all were here where I could read it out loud to you, but you'll still be able to hear it. It is, raise your hand if you've ever read The Day the Crayons Quit. There's a few people. Okay, it's like one of the best books ever. It's my favorite book. Or one of my favorite books. Sorry, it's super slow. So I posted all this in here already. So you could go ahead and look. Okay, under our to-do list, goodness. Here we go. It's a lot slower when we're on a Google Meet. All right, so when this opens up, I'll tell you the under Monday, under writing, it'll have a link for you to go to a YouTube video for you to listen to the book. Hey, let's make sure that we are sitting up. We're not laying down, just like we're in school. We're sitting up. All right. Under writing, you'll complete the verb tenses in Google Classroom. That's what we just looked at. Then it says, read The Day the Crayons Quit. So if you click this, The Day the Crayons Quit, it'll pop up a link to click in just a second, and then it'll take you to a YouTube video to listen to it, okay? If it is not letting you listen to it, hey guys, I need everybody to listen to this because I'm getting a lot of emails about the same thing, and there's a fix to it, okay? If you open up this YouTube and it says that you cannot watch it because you're not authorized or you need to have a G Suite or whatever, it is because you are not logged into your Google account. Even though you think you are logged in, look at my screen. You see my picture it's probably really tiny, but I have two pictures. I have one picture right here, then I have another one way up here. If you are logged in here, but you are not logged in right here, it is not going to work. You have to be logged in to both things, okay? So if you open up that YouTube video and it won't let you watch it, it's because you're not logged in both ways, okay? After you read The Day the Crayons Quit, you're going to watch this friendly letter refresher. It's just kind of like a reminder on how to write a friendly letter that you've already talked about in other grades. Then you're going to go back to Google Classroom and you're going to complete The Day the Crayons Quit assignment. Now, writing last week, for the most part, was pretty good. There were some people who did not follow the directions and only typed a few sentences. One paragraph is 3 to 4 sentences. If you have one sentence in your writing, you are not going to get full credit because paragraph is at least 3 sentences. You can't write an entire story in one sentence. All right. After you read The Day the Crayons Quit and you watch the friendly letter reminder, this time you are the crayon. You're going to write a letter to Duncan explaining why you are quitting. Just like we read in the book, make sure that you include the color of crayon you chose and explain why you quit working. So you're going to say, okay, I think I'm going to be the white crayon. Okay, and then you're going to decide why the white crayon decided to quit. Okay, because the paper is white and I cannot show up on the paper. I can only show up on a dark color paper or a red piece of paper. Okay, so there are 4 steps to this. So you have step 1 is the graphic organizer. You're going to complete the graphic organizer on the next slide. The next step is your rough draft. Using your graphic organizer, write your letter to Duncan in your writing journal in a friendly letter format. Okay, you're going to do that. You can, it's up to you if you want to add a slide after that and do your rough draft on a slide instead of your writing journal, that's fine. You don't have to do it in your writing journal. You can make a slide after, you can insert a slide right here after rough draft and create your own little writing journal in your Google slide. Then you're going to edit, revise, go through your rough draft with a colored pen. Red or blue works the best. Any color, probably other than the color that's similar to your pencil. And you're going to correct any of your mistakes. You're looking for spelling, capitalization, punctuation, okay? And making sure your writing makes sense. Then you'll do your final draft. Type your final draft letter into the correct slide in this presentation. So here is your graphic organizer. Okay, remember that friendly letter reminder video is super important because that's going to help you remember what all these things mean. Okay, you'll have your heading and date, greeting the in-person's name. That's going to be to Duncan. Everybody's will be to Duncan because you're writing to Duncan why you quit. Who are you? You are a crayon in the story. Do not write your name. Okay. Why are you writing? Say why you are quitting. Give 3 reasons why you're quitting. Give your last sentence and then your closing and signature. You probably can't write your signature. You can't sign. You'll just type your name, your real color's name, not your name. Okay, so when you're done with all of your writing, you'll go back to Google Classroom and you will click Turn In, and then you're finished with that. The rest of the template is pretty easy to understand. Today, it says to complete your chapters 1 through 5 quiz and reading. That's for your Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. So if you are done with chapters 1 through 5, you need to go ahead and take that quiz. And then we're going to finish reading Tales of the Fourth Grade Nothing this week. So there's only 10 chapters. And you'll have a test, the final test on it. I think it's on Friday. Yes. Social studies. Okay, social studies. I have looked over your social studies grades from last week, and they are not good, honestly. They're bad for the most part. So I am not going to take last week's for a grade because that was the first week. So this week, I need you to make sure that you are paying attention when you are reading your social studies weekly. When you take the test at the end, you can have your social studies weekly in front of you to look back on for the answers. Okay, you should have that newspaper, the copy of it in front of you. So when you're taking that test, you can go back and look at the answers. There's no reason for you to get things wrong if you have the answers right there in front of you. Okay, it's going to take a little bit of effort. All right. Are there any questions about anything you are doing this week? Yes. You can you need to make sure that you say the name of the like what color the crayon is, and then you can say, like, if I were red, I could say my your rad red friend or something like that. But make sure that you have the name or the color of it in there. Okay. Anybody else? What do you mean sign in? Yeah. Okay, so to make sure that you're signed in on both of these, you should already be signed in on this one. This one up here, if you click it, make sure that it is your login. Mine's going to be super slow. Make sure that it is your login. And if it's not, you're going to have to click add account and then log in. Okay, make sure it's your picture. All right, anybody else? Yes, Chloe? Well, we don't have a Google Meet tomorrow. Let's do it on Friday, okay? Okay. All right. All right. Be looking for an email from me about missing work from last week. Okay. And you are free to go after you type your name in the chat box. Make sure you put your name in there and you are done.